And let me share my screen. It will be helpful for me to explain in a better way. I'm from Beams Technologies. I'm into this IT industry for the last couple of decades, and for the last 7-8 years, I am working in Snowflake and DBT. So before that, I have worked in Oracle and different technologies, mostly into the database technologies I have worked. So I thought of giving this webinar to all of my friends. So let me, having said that, I am starting webinar now. See, actually, after end of the session, what are the things you may know means what is meant by CI/CD and how can we achieve it in Snowflake, and what are the tools involved in this CI/CD for Snowflake, and what is the different tools involved here, and what is SnowCLI, and how to set up the pipeline with the credentials and without credentials, and those things we can discuss on that. Okay. So hope everybody is able to see my screen. Is my screen is visible to everyone?
It's visible.
Yeah, visible. Yeah.
Thank you. Please be interactive. Okay, so fine. See, Snowflake CI/CD deployment using SnowCLI and GitHub Actions. So before starting this, okay, we can discuss something about what is SnowCLI. SnowCLI is SnowCLI is a Python-based CLI tool for Snowflake that allows you to execute the SQL scripts across different environments. And what are the things involved for this SnowCLI is we need one configuration file. In this configuration file, we can provide all kind of username, passwords, and all kind of credentials we can provide it here. And how to integrate this deployment SnowCLI. So with the help of SnowCLI, we can create the pipelines for the deployment. So how this session will go means, first we can set up the environments. What are the environments are related to this CI/CD, and in terms of Snowflake, and as well as how to set up the folder structure in local Git and local testing. Because to have the CI/CD, we need some set of folder structure in the GitHub and as well as in the local. So how can we set up the folder structure in local and as well as the Git? So based on these things only, we can go to the deployment. Once the things are installed, so we create some set of code with using that code we can try to implement the changes into our local Snowflake schemas. Once this deployment is completed and we can set up the pipeline, after that we can implement a complete workflow that will fetch the information from the Git and it will deploy the things into that Snowflake development and UAT and production. So this is the high level of this demo. So this is the way it will work. First, we will install the SnowCLI into our local machine, and how to configure this config.toml. But whatever code we are planned to deploy into that Snowflake development or into the Snowflake production, so we can keep all the information here only based on this main deploy.sql only. SnowCLI will fetch and it will deploy the things into the Snowflake environment. Okay, so we can create the Git features. We can create the branches, dev branch, UAT branch, and prod branch, and we can put the code into the branches. And with the help of running workflow, how the code will deploy into the Snowflake and environment. So this is the outline. So depends upon what. Suppose if you want to change something, means we can add the code into this main deploy, and we can do it accordingly. The deployments. Okay, so we can directly get into this setting up the SnowCLI into our local machine, and how to we can create the directory structure into the local, and we can create the same directory in that GitHub. And with the help of a GitHub, how can we set up a workflow? And we can go step by step. Let me take up this one. 1 second. Okay. Okay, so this is the simple directory we are having to start to set up the pipeline. Okay, first we can check whether this Python is installed or not. So already I have installed Python, so we can see this kind of version. So to implement this SnowCLI, first we need 3.8 version plus of Python already installed.
Python నేర్చుకుని నాకు 3 జాయిన్.
Come again, I can't get you. Okay, fine. So since I have already installed this SnowCLI, so first thing is we have installed Python. It's already installed. After that, I am installing the SnowCLI. I think everybody is on mute only. Jackie Basha, can you please go on mute? Not connected to audio. Okay, so I'm not sure. Okay, so first thing is we have installed the Python, and next thing is we have installed this SnowCLI. So the SnowCLI, this is the SnowCLI version. So with this SnowCLI version, actually what is meant by SnowCLI is it's a Python-based CLI. Then this will help us to running, debugging, and deploying the Snowflake scripts. And this can help deploying all kind of Snowflake script. And this is ideal for CI/CD implementation. Mostly, this will be used in this the pipelines. Tejasvi, I'm putting you on mute. Suppose if you want to speak, please let me know. You can let me unmute it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we are basically we are having two things, right? One is SnowCLI and SnowSQL. So both are different. Don't get confused with this. SnowCLI is kind of earlier it was a Apache's tool, Apache's utility. They have used this one, but by October 24, Snowflake officially migrated the Snowflake CLI Labs repository to Snowflake CLI repository. Okay. So the thing is they took over the Snowflake CLI into their repository. That's what. So since I have installed this SnowCLI, okay, I'm checking the version. Since it is installed, I am installing this 2.8.1 already. So now we have installed this SnowCLI into our local machine. To do the deployment, we can do we can create the tables, functions, procedures, whatever things we want to into our local. So once it is developed and tested in local, so after that we have to push it into next level. So for the next level, we need some configuration, right? So where we have to do that, in the which schema, which database, which role, and which values. So all those things we have to mention it somewhere else, right? So that place is called config. There are two things here. One is config.toml and the other one is config. Don't get confused with the SnowCLI and SnowSQL. SnowCLI is a Apache utility. Later, Snowflake took over this, and the SnowSQL is a inbuilt utility which will comes with the Snowflake. So we can do the deployment with the SnowCLI and as well as SnowSQL. SnowCLI is nothing but a third-party tool. After that, after some time, Snowflake took over this, and this is an inbuilt tool. So we can do the deployment with the help of both SnowCLI and as well as SnowSQL. For now, we are taking this SnowCLI for the deployment. Basically, it won't come during the installation, so we have to configure it later. So where can we configure it? Means first we can create some directory. So this is the directory I have. Okay. Okay, this is the directory we have created. Okay, so here we can create one more directory. It is already, the Snowflake is already there. On top of the Snowflake, on top of this directory, we can create this config.toml. So here I have already created this one. Config.toml already have created. So you can see this here, right? So this will comes in this profile area. So while during that, it is a hidden directory. We have to create this file explicitly. It won't come with directory. Let me open this for your reference. See, this is the way config.toml. So it is having this which account I am going to use for the deployment, and what is the username, password, database, schema, warehouse, and role, everything. So everything I have mentioned it here. I'm giving this profile name. This is not a default profile. This is for testing. I have created Beams CA/CD dev. So this is the profile name. This is the environment name. I have said this is the connection name. So after that, so now we have prepared this config.toml, and once it is done, so again, so this is for SnowCLI, right? That same way we can configure this SnowSQL also. In the SnowSQL also, we can set up the connections like this. So this is a different scenario. We can ignore this for now. Okay, so now I have installed this SnowCLI, and I have configured this config.toml, and I'm checking whether my SnowCLI is working fine, and my profile, this username and password is matched with, it is ready for the deployment. So for that, I am plan to have this test whether my SnowCLI is properly installed or not. Okay, so if I'm executing this one, it will fail because we have this default only, right? So we don't have any default connection is there. So for that, what we can do is, I'm taking this. So instead of this default, this is the syntax we have to follow. SnowSQL, and what is the connection I am going to use, and what is the connection name, and which query this is a command line query. So this is for testing purpose only. So for now, what I can do is, I am removing this default, and I am giving this connection name here. This is my connection name, Beam CA/CD dev. Okay. Now I can see this version is 9.3. This is the current SnowCLI version we are using. So this is up to this. We can conclude we have installed the Python and SnowCLI. We have configured that config.toml, and we have tested whether this setup is working fine or not. Okay. So after the next,
What we are doing this default, I didn't get that. What default you are doing that? Why we are doing that?
which one?
Default is just last step you are given. Right? When you go to command,
This one, right?
yes. Why we have done that?
Actually, before going to the GitHub and production, we have to test the things locally, right? So for that, we are planned to use the SnowCLI for the deployment. We have created this script like this. But how can we know whether if we are giving the things to the Snowflake, it will automatically run? Since it's a simple script, we have to test it locally, right? So whether this particular script is acceptable by SnowCLI, and it is executing fine or not. So that thing we need to check, right? So for that, we are installing the SnowSQL locally. We can test this script is working fine or not, because we are plan to use the SnowSQL on the GitHub Actions. So before going to there, we are installing it locally, and we are testing. Instead of this query, we can give this employees.sql here. So later we can conclude whether this SnowSQL is accepting this format, deploying the code into this directory. Sorry, not into this directory, in this account.
Got it.
Got it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So later you will come to know. You will understand clearly. Okay.
Just one question.
Please.
How does it actually connect to that account? Because it needs a MFA, right? So how does that play a role here?
Multi-factor authentication is not required here. If it is required, then we can set it manually, not inbuilt one. Because usually this multi-factor authentication, we should not implement in the CI/CD, because CI/CD should work automatically. If you implement the multi-factor authentication in that workflow, it is not possible to key in that next factor for authentication. So usually it won't come for this CI/CD. So we can ignore the multi-factor for now.
No, but can we not use the RSA keys and all those things for a user in this case?
How come the RSA key will come here? I can't get it.
No, what I mean is you had to use it because you're using the user, right? Which is a personal user. Can we not use the service account here? Because that's what CI/CD will use, right? Pretty much.
This is a normal user. So we can create a separate user for that CI/CD, and we can set up all kind of, we can include all kind of security features for that account. So SnowCLI we have installed, and we are tested. This is working fine. This is the current SnowCLI version. Okay. So the next thing is how there are three parts here. So first thing is we have installed and we have tested, and this is the thing. And this will go to the next level, right? So we have installed in local machine, and next thing is we have to get in touch with this GitHub repository, and later we have to implement this. We have to create the CI/CD workflow, and how it will work, we can check it later. So for now, it is fine. We are installed, and that connection is successfully established.